Hi everyone. I wanted to do a video on what I feel are the pros and cons of grow bag versus nursery pots. I get this question a lot from viewers, and I thought I would bring you in a little bit now that I am actually making a change. And so what I've been telling people is that they ask me when they see all my fig trees in fabric pots. You guys have maybe seen recently that I've been putting plastic bags around the fabric pots to keep in as much moisture as possible. And so that is a definite con for the grow bags, in my opinion. Now that the trees are matured and fruiting, they need a lot more water. And the grow bags, they served their purpose for me when I was a new grower, because it doesn't let you overwater, really. For the most part, it saves you. It helps you to keep your trees alive, and that's what it did for me, because as new growers, you tend to love your trees to death, nurture them to death, overwater them to death. And so that really helps to cover for those mistakes. But now that my trees are more mature, just last year I put them into these 7-gallon pots, 7-gallon grow bags, thinking, oh, what a smart idea this is, right? This is going to be their forever pot. And truly, towards the end of last year and this year, I was just realizing what a mistake that really is, and that the heavy-duty plastic pots are really where it's at, and I'll show you the difference. For a lot of my mostly Mount Etna trees, I want to say, and the LSU varieties tend to suffer quite a bit when they are in fabric pots. The nutrients aren't getting to them, the water is not getting to them, and yes, look at, I know it looks like fig rust, but really this is what they end up looking like when they are in these fabric pots, or like that, or like that. But then I transfer them into a plastic nursery pot, and suddenly you have leaves that look like this. These were the older leaves, see, and it's outgrown them, and now the new flush of growth is just way more green and luscious. And the figs get bigger. The figs get bigger, and the quality is much better. Oh my gosh, here's a fabric pot. It rained, and now it's a swimming pool in there of water. And so these are going to get changed out into the plastic nursery pots, because I think it's the perfect combination of water retention and drainage. And it keeps the nutrients, and so you don't get leaves that are like this or yellowing, you see. Here's another example. I pulled this out of a fabric bag, and suddenly it grew and grew and grew, and the figs are getting enormous. And this is my strawberry verte. Last year the figs were very tiny on it. This year they're enormous and have even more flavor. I thought maybe the flavor would be compromised, but no such thing. This is a 10-gallon pot that I put the LSU Tiger in. Let me show you my Celeste. I had very similar problems. The Celeste I have, as you can see, in a 10-gallon grow bag, fabric bag. And it too, this is what the leaves were looking like. But then I put it in ground so that the moisture would stay around it. It would be able to drain, and the roots, if they needed more nutrients, they could spread out from the bottom. And sure enough, the growth became beautiful. You see, this is my Italian Latarula in a grow bag. again, mistake. And this one, but because this one is so hardy, it still grows really well. I've got no fruit on it. It gave me about 3 or 4 fruits. It grew really slowly. And so, yeah, now I'm finding, if you're a beginning grower and you are just now starting out with your fig collection, I think the grow bags are the way to go. But as soon as they reach the 1-year mark, maybe 2-year mark, I would definitely not waste any more time with grow bags and transfer them into a nursery pot. This is my Bakor in a 7-gallon fabric pot. As you can see, the roots grew right out of it. But I want you to see the condition of the leaves. Pretty scrawny, stringy. Branches are scrawny. And so I'm transferring this into a 10-gallon nursery pot. Look at that. The figs are tiny. The ones that are ripe are about, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches in diameter. They're not bad, but they're going to get so much better in the plastic nursery pot. And as you can see, the majority of the root population seems to be at the bottom of these fabric pots, not all around. And so yes, the fabric pots do encourage growth throughout, but as you can see, it's staying at the bottom. You know why? Because they had all grown out of the bottom of the bag so that they can access what they didn't have, which was all in the ground and not in the pot. And so one good thing is the circulation of roots in pots is not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's indicative of it being able to acquire the nutrients that it needs all throughout that pot versus seeking it elsewhere. If you're wondering what my soil makeup is, my potting soil makeup, it might surprise some of you and might alarm some of you. And everyone has their own potting mix that they go with. And just knowing certain things that I know about certain ingredients, that's what I use to formulate my mixture. So my mixture is about, I'm going to say about, well, I use 1.5 cubic feet of really organic and premium topsoil. I got mine from a local nursery. I'm not sure the name of it, but it said organic soil, and it was the most expensive, which was only about $2.89 a bag, but 1.5 cubic feet. And I put in probably about half of that in mushroom compost into here. And then I bought some crushed lime and put in approximately 2 to 3 cups worth in that. And then I've got some rice hull and some pine wood, very fine chips and shavings. I think it was called pine mulch, and it was, pine mulch nuggets or something like that. And so it was really fine and small. And then what else did I put in here? I think that's it. That's all I've got in here. And so these rocks are lime, and lime is really good for creating an alkaline environment for the fig trees, which the fig trees prefer. And so in case you're wondering what I'm filling these pots with, that's what I'm using. And then anything I'm getting off the pots, like the roots, I throw them back in there because they have used up energy to create those roots, and I'm keeping that energy right where it's supposed to be. And so on that mixture of soil and compost and mulch and lime, I was able to up pot from 7-gallon to 10-gallon my Bakor, my Black Celeste, and then I did my Nicodem Haven from a 7-gallon pot into a 15-gallon pot. You're not seeing it, it's behind there. So about 3 pots worth of up potting, and then with a little bit left over is what I got out of that mixture. The compost I'm using and the topsoil. And here's the lime. This is the pine bark mulch I used. And ultimately this is what it looks like in my wheelbarrow, and I'm going to mix all this together now. We've got the finished products, and we're just going to wait and see how much better their leaves and figs will become, even though it's late in the summer. It's September 15th, or no, sorry, September 13th or 12th or something like, no, 13th. Regardless, they're still going to spring back, and then next year they'll be better than ever. So thanks for watching, guys.